All right. Hello, hello. It is me, Ender Deej. Is that my intro now? I've never actually went out of my way. I've never actually gone out of my way to coin an intro or anything like that. Is my intro now just gonna be, hey, it's me, Ender Deej? Because of all the intros, of all the possible YouTube intros, that's probably one of the worst I could come up with. What's up, Luna? How's it going? So let's just get right into it. We are going to be putting a little bit more work into this thingamajig. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Ender Deej, and welcome back to my Minecraft Let's Play. Because if you're gonna do an intro like that, you better be playing fucking Minecraft. You were thinking of my Markiplier? Markiplier says, hello everybody, my name is Markiplier. Even though I actually don't know what he does anymore, so now that I think about it, it's very possible I'm wrong. I am outdated. Alright, so where we last left off, it seems as though I did the outline of the Hoog. I've had this made. I'm gonna have to change this at some point because there's something weird about it that I don't exactly like. Yeah, no. You know what? Let's start off with changing this up, because all this needs is a little bit of color. Been a long time since you've heard his intro. Fair enough. I don't know if he even does the intro anymore. It's very possible that he doesn't. Scooch myself down. So I could push myself just like right into that beanbag. just like full on get in there kind of thing. But no, that's not exactly what I'm looking to do. Maybe let's try to keep them generally the same height, just so that nobody has an overwhelming screen presence. And I can put me there. I can put me there. That's a regular sentence. A good normal sentence. All right. So what I'm gonna do for this right now, I am going to add an extra little bit of leg here. So like this, I guess. Or maybe, because I want to get this kind of lazy crouch going on. So gonna be something like this, maybe. I'm gonna have to figure this out. But something like this. Let me know if the music is too loud, by the way. I really can't tell because I can only hear myself and then the music going through my computer, not going through like what do you call it? OBS. So I don't know how loud myself is in relation to the music that's playing. I try to make sure that my own voice is louder than the music, but sometimes I don't know. You know, sometimes it doesn't happen. Yeah. This stream's probably going to be a rather different from last art stream, rather. Because last art stream, I was pissed just about things in general. But I'm actually feeling all right today, you know? Weird thing. You wouldn't expect it. I'm actually feeling good. Crazy. I got a few good rounds in the finals. I took a pretty good break from the finals, and I'm just recently coming back to it. And it's interesting because it's kind of like riding a bicycle, except if the bicycle had several guns, so many guns, And if you killed somebody with the bicycle, they burst into money. So just like riding a bicycle. But yeah, no, I've been playing more of that. I've been getting into Counter-Strike 2, which I hate the way that it works, but also I kind of like it. What's up, Hero? How's it going? Like I hate the way that Counter-Strike like aiming works. It's just awful. It makes no sense. But then again, when I get into Counter-Strike and I get a bunch of kills, I am like it's dopamine. Dopamine to the brain. So I get it. You know, I get it. It's just I don't like it. But you know, I've been getting into Counter-Strike 2 recently. I've got a brother who I've played some shooters with on stream. DD Wash Monster, or I think mostly just Monster right now at this point. And he's cracked. He's really good at shooters. So the goal is always to see if I can get to the point where I'm starting to beat him in my games, in like 1v1s or in point competitions. Will that work? I think that'll work. Let's see. If I just snag this here. But you know, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling nice. There's not much more to it than that, I guess. I mean, there is more to it. I've been working more on, as you may expect, I've been working more on the mechanism. So my idea didn't work. This idea with the flashlight doesn't work because, and I don't know why I thought that I could rely on like a $5 flashlight, but you may be able to see as I start screwing this in, you'd expect it to, you know, get tighter, but it doesn't work. They're bad screws, meaning that. And beware, fake gun on screen in a few seconds. So this is what I took all the internals out of, which would hate me if they knew who I was. This is what I took the internals out of, the Schofield revolver. It's also broken. It's supposed to break open. There it is. Okay. Yeah. Anyways, this right here is where that mechanism used to go. And you'd put the pressurized container here and screw it in from the bottom. So I'm thinking what I may have to do is take a hacksaw and cut the shit in half and use that to make my airsoft gun. Because otherwise, I have to come up with a solution that I can make myself in my equipped yet meager workshop that I have set up here. All right, back to music. Back to drawing. But yeah, no, that's just stuff to do in the future, I guess. All right, let's see. Now, here's the thing. I wanted to make my like seating a little bit more my style, you know? Why the camera blurry again? Do I have to have the light on like full blast for you to actually just see my face? I don't want to look like a snowman. But you know, I'm not sure how this should do. Beautiful white face. Yeah. Here, let's see how white I can get it. Kind of bluish. Oh, orange. Okay, that's about as white as I can get it in this lighting. Honestly, not that bad. It's only when it gets compounded and the saturation goes all out of whack. All right. So, thinking maybe, or yeah, you just noticed. Dante is carrying Hero. By the way, okay, something else that happened today, which is very interesting. For the past little while, I have been a consumer of marijuana, but before that, I, like, you know, booze. Booze is what you get. The legal drinking age in Canada is 19, so I was on that shit. And it turns out that at some point in the past, I bought a bottle of limoncello, and I got a bottle of Kraken, like Kraken rum, like some of the best stuff. It's 18 there. I don't know whether or not that's good or bad for your population, for non-heavy alcohol. Okay, that, I mean, probably not good, but also cool. Yeah, no. Like, some of the best rum that, and I'm a rum guy. I like rum. Whiskey is, eh. But it turns out that I've just had a bottle of limoncello and a bottle of rum, Kraken rum, in in one of my, like, family cabinets or whatever for the past 2 years or something. Like, a while. And they've just been sitting there. So I just now got them put up on the shelf, and I may or may not crack a couple drinks. Crack a couple drinks, that's not a saying. But you know, pour myself a couple. Just for the occasion. Something Oktoberfest. I don't really know what Oktoberfest is all about. I know that, like, Biz celebrates it, but he never tells me what Oktoberfest actually is besides pumpkin, and they go pumpkin thing. They look at the pumpkins. That's all I know about it. I know that pumpkins are involved at some point. Alright, that looks alright. Lots of drinking? Oh, okay, I see. So it's a... I guess it does make sense. It's a celebration. There's gonna be drinking. But, yeah, no, that makes sense. Okay, now I get to enjoy the glory that is trying to draw a foot. Yippee! More times that I get to try to draw shoes and feet and other things that I hate. Okay, maybe I crack open a bottle right now. Perhaps now is a good time to start. Also, nowhere near Bavaria. Honestly, I gotta say, like, drinking's cool and whatnot. It's not that cool. Also, it's 5. It's 5 now. I'm allowed to drink. I didn't make it so that my streams were like this, where the second I start streaming, it's 5 o'clock. But it's a very convenient time to be streaming. Because, let me tell you, drinking on stream has gotten me through a chunk of Rain World streams. Perhaps gotten through is the wrong terminology, but it's definitely helped push me through a few Rain World streams. Was the gameplay that bad? Artificer was so fucked up. Like, Chimney Canopy and Artificer, 9 times out of 10, I would exit my little hidey hole and I'd see Chimney Canopy, and like 2 vultures had crammed themselves up the only path to get get to where I need to go. And so they're just like cramming themselves into that funny little tube, and 3 lizards drop down on their head, and it's awful. It sucked. I hated it so much. But I pushed through because everybody likes Rain World. Yeah, no, I gotta say, Artificer was like a cool gimmick. Absolutely my least favorite game, playthrough. It was just so awful. Okay, that's going off to the side too much. But yeah, no, that, and also I think I briefly tried doing like challenge runs, but no. As using a scav corpse as Artie, and your 2 vultures sensed you coming through the gate. Yeah, no, awful. Yeah, awful. And also the fact that you needed to grab a scav corpse. So sometimes, like, I would get past it. I didn't know that there was a den. So I'd get all the way to the top of Chimney Canopy. I didn't know that I could go to the left to get to a den. So I kept on dying and resetting and having to climb up everything. And like every time that I actually made it up to the top, there were no scavs to be seen. Like legitimately none to be heard of. It was awful. Actually awful. I like it. Yeah, nah. That in Metropolis. Metropolis, love the music. Was that a fucking slog. But yeah, all of that to say, Artificer's playthrough was not fun to me. Did not quite work out the way that a lot of people seem to say it does. This is gonna be going out like this. Oh. That. On your Pearl run for Artie, you actually focused on getting all echoes, so you didn't have to fuck with corpses. Oh, wait. I've never done, like, the alternate ending for Artificer. Mainly because of all the things that I just insulted it for. But, yeah, nah. Maybe someday I'll go try that. I don't know if I want to put myself through that pain again, if I'm being honest. It was so rough. The alt ending is sad. Yeah, I think either somebody spoiled it or I guessed it. But isn't it just like Artificer tries to do it and gets fucking blasted? Trying to get that ending, you ended up biting yourself out of frustration. That's something that I've recently been doing more often, which is like weird. Complete change of topic. You just reminded me of something. You may have seen me do it occasionally, but whenever I get angry at a game, it's always delayed by like a few seconds. So I'll be playing like Rain World. Say I'm playing Rain World, right? And I just die to a scav or something, off-screen scav. I'm pissed. I'll sit there for like 2 seconds, and my body just goes, raise up your hands and smash everything in front of you. like I have the response to just go, and this is, once my hands are up here, my brain like regains control, and I'm like, do I want to follow through with this? And I know on some occasions, I am just like, yes, and I destroy my desk. I'm lucky that my desk is heavy duty, because I've pounded on this shit. And not just for Rain World, but yeah, no. You do that all the time, getting angry and biting yourself, or getting all the pearls in the Artificer playthrough. Knowing you guys, it could be either or. But yeah, no, it's weird since you don't have nicotine to distract yourself. Yeah, no, that for sure. Like, it's just like so much stress and anger. Be careful with how much frustration you're displaying. What do you mean? Are you saying that as like you don't want me to? Eh? Eh? What are you referring to? Confused. Are you saying like I should watch out so that people don't get that I'm frustrated or some shit? I don't know. Your brain is lagging. Mine is too. You caused this. How dare you? But yeah, no, it's so weird because it's an emotion that I really don't like do a lot. But sometimes it just feels like your body going, break something, break something, break something. You're gonna go lay down in bed. You've not long finished a stream. That's all right. Thank you for dropping by nonetheless. And hey, I honestly, how or if you're willing to talk about it before you leave, you still on the, or you still off the nicotine? Because you said it before that you were, I think. Yeah. I think she's gone. You're still off it. Honestly, good for you. That is really impressive. It's been, I mean, I haven't been keeping track of it, but at least 2 weeks, maybe a month. Has it? Maybe no. 4 weeks come this Friday. Yeah, no, legitimately, that is actually really impressive. Considering that nicotine is the thing that makes you addicted, getting off of it is no small feat. Now go lie down and stop having headaches or whatever, and stop eating yourself. Biting yourself? Eating yourself. Same thing. Alright. So this may or may not be sufficient. 1 a.m. on the 16th of last month. Yeah, no. That good. I mean, I don't really have anything more to say. That is just like legitimately impressive. Like, actually. Alright, let me grab the... Yeah, that is true. And a shit ton of gum, that helps. It's weird, right? The things that you pick up in place of like cravings. I didn't know this until I had somebody I know tell me about it. When you're trying to get off alcohol and drinking, it's sparkling water. You do sparkling water and it fits the craving, or it like you know, whatever I'm trying to say. It's very interesting. All right, what was I doing? Oh, yeah. I was loading up this. There we are. So I can snag the stuff here. It's so healthy in comparison. Yeah. Well, in comparison, it's absolutely healthy. Otherwise, I find it's kind of gross and icky and, you know? But, you know, if you're drinking sparkling water instead of booze, then, like, I'm happy for you. And if you're chewing gum instead of smoking cigarettes or doing, like, nicotine patches or whatever, that's also impressive. That is also good. So you respond above since we got distracted. Oh, you were... Are you saying that you responded before? I gotta reread stuff. Seeing people get angry can really set off panic response, even if the person isn't actively a threat. Huh. That's interesting. I guess that makes sense. I've just never thought about it in the context of like online. I apologize. Yeah, I apologized if that was like triggering for you. I can't promise I won't do it more in the future, but yeah, sorry. Yeah, no. Well, I don't get it, but you've never witnessed it. You've never witnessed me getting angry, or... Oh, okay, so you're just saying it as a precaution. It wasn't making you uncomfortable? General precaution. Oh, okay. That makes more sense. Online etiquette. Well, I mean, yeah, good. Honestly, like, I hope that I don't come off as a threat to people when I am streaming and doing cracking jokes and doing this kind of shit. But I don't? Okay, that's good. And I think I'm probably going to continue doing that just because it's kind of hard not to be angry sometimes. But I'll heed your warning. So hopefully that looks like a shoe. Barely. Maybe color that in like so. Look better, eh? I mean, it's all right. Is that better than how it was? Certain amount of anger in your life or something. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I get that. If you're angry like in person, I totally get that. I totally understand it. Because when somebody around you is angry, even when you are not even involved, you know, it is scary because somebody is upset. Somebody is anger is a weird thing. Very, very weird thing. But yeah, no, I get that. But As long as everything's good, as long as we're all good, then be a boulder. Alright, so I added some extra stuff there. Let me add some wrinkles as well. Actually put one. Yeah, that works. No, I actually like that. That needs to be longer. Yeah, that's better. But it's how you handle it that can become a problem. Yeah, no, I understand. Yeah, I keep saying that. I understand. Yeah, no. Because the thing is, even when somebody handles it well, you know what? No. I was about to say something, but that is actually... I was misguided by my own memory. What I'm referring to is when somebody gets better at controlling their anger. It's still scary. Is like I've known people who in the past, when they got angry at literally anything, they blew up, you know? And then they finally figure out, oh, that makes people hate me. That makes people dislike being around me. And they actually like work on it. And it's like a palpable feeling when you can tell that they're like normally or previously they would have gotten like insanely angry, like freaking the hell out. And then they just don't. And they're like, okay, yeah, that's fine. You know, they just move on with their day. I totally get that. I get adrenaline from that kind of shit. But yeah, nah. I mean, it's better than having somebody actually respond like that. Actually respond with uncontrolled anger, but not fun, that's for sure. Something. Maybe. You do like that, and if I recolor it in. Get really mad in VC. Yeah. I know that. I've had that as well. I'm a bit of an instigator when it comes down to it, so I can't say I'm guiltless when it comes to a lot of stuff. And I've definitely caused some pretty massive like fights between me and friends that like I felt were like tiny things, and they were just angry. But you know, it depends on what's happening to them, you know? Because like if you've got a friend who is notoriously like easy to anger, and also they happen to always have migraines or something, you get it, right? Like you can't understand why it's happening. It's their body's freaking the hell out because it's constantly in pain. But it doesn't make it any nicer to be just yelled at for something that you thought was chill, you know? But yeah, no, I'm definitely I've recently realized I need to get better at just fucking forgiving and forgetting. Because, and maybe it's just recent days and stuff, like just how the world has been happening and I've been angry or yada yada, you know the drill. But I will occasionally just like, you know, think the brain does the thinking in the off time, and I forgot what I was gonna say. Fuck. Oh no. Oh yeah. I will come across like a memory of something that kind of peeved me, and I don't know why, but just like the difference in time, like somebody will like vaguely annoy me, and I'll be like, okay, yeah, that annoyed me. So what? Oh well. And it'll like ferment in my brain over time, and when I think back to it, I'm like, fucking piece of shit, you did that to me. And I'll be like that for like a day where I'm like, God, you piece of shit. And then I think for a few seconds more, and I'm like, well, that really doesn't actually matter that much, and I shouldn't be this angry about it. But I don't know. It's just like that little part of me that it just feels a slight, or feels like there was a slight in the past, and it just gets so angry. You unlock like one painful memory, and suddenly you're experiencing every mental illness you've been handed down by your ancestors. Yeah, it's literally like just like remembering something stupid you did as a kid, right? It's just you something reminds you of something else, and suddenly you're just like freaking the fuck out. Your brain can't think. And of course this is different because you're saying painful memory. I'm more referring to like slights or like unresolved complaints than yeah, more so talking about that than I am talking about trauma and stuff. But that, I mean, there's also that. There's a few different ways about it that happen. Like when you're getting like really pissed off and stuff, when you're embarrassed, when you remember trauma or something, like repressed stuff. And it's just emotions. Many of them. Alright, I'm making a big shoe. It's repressed emotions, you know? The big emotions. Anyways, I make the shoe bigger because it looks better. God, I love being a dumbass sometimes. Alright, let's see. I guess if the shoe is bigger, I'd want it to be that. It's hard. It's hard to figure out all the angles, all the things. Behave so people don't treat you like shit for being flawed. Honestly, something that annoys me. I deal with my issues in a very me way, and my first reaction to when people tell me about their issues is to be like, "Oh yeah, no, you should deal in it. You should deal with it in the me way." But I get away with a lot because of me, because I'm a big loud man. If you're not like a super belligerent, like loud person who can be like, "Oh, you dislike me because of a basic flaw? Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you," you know? Not everybody can just do that. Not everybody's comfortable with doing that. I just wish that more people could look to their abusers and tell them to fuck right off. However, for most people that doesn't work. It sucks. Alright, let's... Fortunately, social anxiety and also horrible experiences with people. Yeah. Yeah, no. And it's... like... My response is a byproduct of, like, the way I was raised. Can't say that I had zero trauma from that, but I feel like depending on it, like if you were raised in a bad spot, in a bad place, and you learned that kind of helplessness, like there's nothing, you can't just like will it into existence. You can't just like will, yes, suddenly I will be standing up for myself and strong and like beat up the guy who hit me as a kid or some shit like that, you know? Like, I'm totally keen to do that, but not everybody is. And I get that, you know? It's hard. Sometimes you see something and you just want to curl into a fucking ball. Like, it's just like a basic response to seeing or experiencing something. I get that. Learned helplessness. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Of course, I'm not a therapist. I'm not a psychiatrist. I am in no way certified. But I mean, like your response to, and I'm saying you in a general sense, not you. But your response to something is generally not going to be like, it's going to be educated based off the past. But yeah, you do what you know works best. And if growing up, what worked best was cowering away so you didn't get hit, then you're going to do that because it's what you know works. For me, I grew up in a very loving family. And it sucks. It always sucks to have to say that. Because there are so many people who don't. But I never learned that. Despite how much they tried. Have I mentioned that I grew up with 5 brothers? I very well could have gone through life as somebody who was, you know, like kind of just avoided every confrontation and like just trying to live peacefully. But then I got a growth spurt and became the tallest, and that boosted my confidence like a lot. Like, I'm not kidding. The fact, like, as a kid, it's weird because I was like, my tallest brother is like here in the vague estimation, and I'm here, right? So I'm like at age 7 or something. I'm here. Then I get a growth spurt, and I suddenly grow a shit ton, right? So suddenly I'm taller, and I'm relishing in the shit. And then somebody else gets a growth spurt, and I'm suddenly no longer the tallest. And then only, well, I think around 12, maybe, I just fucking skyrocketed. Puberty happened, and I reached 6'3". And one of my brothers is 6'3" as well, but luckily nobody else has made back the ground. Something, the king of the gnomes. I could totally go for the position of king of gnomes. Just get me like a really big gnome hat. I can't fit in the trees that they live in, so I just kind of hang around. It sucks that all the short little fellas are the cool ones. You know, I guess dragons are cool, but they're not really fellas. They're kind of beasts, creatures. You wish you had a testosterone-driven growth spurt? Fortunately, short guy. Yeah. I am a freak, for lack of a better term. So, yeah. Like, I don't know. I could not tell you why I'm this tall. It's just a thing. Alright. Now, reviewing in a outside of the dating pool way. I could go back with, but I'm a freak inside the dating pool. Funny joke. But everybody's a bit of a freak. I'm just a bit more of a freak. In more ways than one. Doing like a gross eyebrow. The idea of having to make those noises every time you like raise your eyebrow. Okay. Okay, I feel like this foot's it looks small, right? Am I wrong about that? Like this looks small. But maybe it does. I don't know. Minecraft villager behavior. Actually, very accurate. Because I want it to look smaller than the rest of, you know, me. Looks okay. I'll move on to the Hoog, and we'll see what happens from there. Alright. So let me put the reference sheet. It's okay to have big feet. Body positivity or something. Yeah. Sounds about right. Alright. Good. This game, or the game that we're listening to the music of, it's like kind of really boring. It's not that boring. It's a roguelike and you bullet hell and all sorts of stuff. Not quite my kind of thing. But goddamn, is the music good? Music is so good. It's made by the same person who made the music for Citizen Sleeper, which is other music that has shown up. Amos Roddy. And I don't know. He just creates some crazy good music. I'm still slowly but surely working on that album that I said I was making. Like 3 songs in, trying to figure out how to make everything sound how I want. I don't think it's gonna be done for a while, but you know, stuff to do. Okay, I gotta figure out all of this stuff. So he's got the accent going over the back of his head. That spurred a thought. What accent would the Hoog have, given he spoke English? Because I don't... For one thing, I don't know if he would ever speak English. Can actually get a good look at the top of his head here. Okay, it just kind of goes over his ears. Aussie. That's interesting. Do Australians have groundhogs? I mean, it wouldn't be unexpected for the Australians to have groundhogs, but I've never heard of Australian groundhogs. You don't think so? I think the Hoog would have to be able to live there. You don't know? Let me just look it up. Do Australians have groundhogs? No. They have wombats. They also have kangaroos. That is also true. But no hoogs. I mean, it doesn't mean that he couldn't be Australian, but I don't know. I don't even know if, like, the Hoog... Should he be able to speak English at any point? I don't think so, honestly. Like, he's kind of supposed to be a dumbass, right? That's kind of the only two lore pieces that I've created for the Hoog over the amount of time that I have had him as a character. 1, he is functionally immortal, and 2, he is an absolute fucking dumbass. Those are the 2 stats. Besides that, he's kind of a blank slate character. Don't want to know about your 1 million hero AUs. Perhaps his God knows how many girlfriends. Yeah, perhaps I don't want to know about the million AUs. I've had some friends who do a very similar thing. I've ranted about this. I've already talked about this. Like I've had a friend who, like, we do thing and he has his stuff that's super OP and he'd be like, oh no, it's on the same level as your stuff, which is balanced for the sake of fun. Let's collide them and make some crossover lore. And then it turns into just him controlling everything and us being side characters. But you know, yeah, I've definitely ranted about that. I need to mess around with all these other brushes more. Because this one adds quite a bit of nice texture to the image. I quite like it. For mainly this kind of work. Texturing. It's and bats. One of the first RPs you did with Hero, he died very often. Yeah. I think I've also talked about my method of organizing or getting back at that one friend. But he didn't require another person to revive, so he just regenerated. Well, that makes sense though. You know, if you've got a character who can revive, they're probably gonna die a lot because they can revive. So that it tracks. If you don't know that you can revive, if you just happen to be, or if you're say a god or something, you're not going to be taking everything super like strategically and stuff. You're probably just going to run in, die, and then run in again later. You'll have killing him in very gruesome way as you're a freak like that. In that sense, that is freak. It's a bit freaky. Not like it's the most out there I've seen. Cheap viewers on streamboo.com. He died. All right. What are we doing now? Guess we're just doing the sweater, which doesn't have a designated color, really. Fun fact. Let's hear this fun fact. Once you get to type it out. He drew a man murdering a woman. Yeah, that's classic kindergarten stuff. Blood and knives. Yeah. That's some classic kid shit though. Like if you think about that at all as a kid, then you're probably going to be drawing that shit. Doesn't concern me. No, my brother. There was a time, and when I say brother, it doesn't describe who specifically, but one of my brothers. All right, let me give context. My family's not religious at all, but we are such a large family that sometimes my parents would need help taking care of us when they were out and about. And so we went to, like, on a couple occasions, we went to a church camp, and we stayed the day there. And we got kicked out of the church camp because one of my brothers, while doing arts and crafts, drew Santa being absolutely torn apart. Like Santa Claus being shot, stabbed, murdered in every way. All the while we were using like can lids to make hockey pucks by like taping a bunch of can lids in a stack, taping them around, and then we'd just shuffle them around. We were chaotic. But yeah, no. That's like, that's not abnormal. Like, sure, it's not super normal, but a kid, like, if you're a kid, you think about these things. Parents and people who would see that as or see that as like this person's growing up into a serial killer. That what else is the kid supposed to do with that information that they have? They don't know what to do with it. They have no clue what to do with it. You watched your mom play horror games as a toddler. Yeah. Children are going to experience stuff. Freaky uncensored shit. I occasionally would sneak peeks at my dad playing Halo, but I never got, like, my parents never let me watch anything that was considered too scary, too much, until one of my brothers got Far Cry. Yeah, my parents were very on the ball with trying to make sure we didn't see that shit. But like I you saw some Final Destination scenes. I haven't seen that movie, show, whatever it is, but I hear about it a lot. But I worked as a camp counselor for 2 years. And like, kids are so interesting. Very gruesome deaths. I'll have to maybe or may not check it out. But on my point, children, the inner machinations of their minds are so fucking weird. A normal child's mind is so full of random garbage that they're just trying to process. They gotta go to school. They gotta go to daycare. They don't get to just sit in their mom's lap all day, you know? So of course they're gonna have things to think and things to say and things to draw. So why is it a problem? Why, like, a parent sees the child, oh, look, they parsed information and passed it on to a drawing. They must be a serial killer. Sometimes you don't understand that your uncle is your dad's brother. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes you think a cousin is just a really good friend. You know? It's just like, they're stupid. They don't know what they're doing. And it's okay. I absolutely thought that the word cousin, like when I was a kid, the word cousin meant you were a good friend. But yeah, no. I think people are just really stupid when it comes to children. I feel like half of the people who have children probably shouldn't have children, you know? Because they don't, like, they're like, oh yeah, this child, it needs to be exactly like this, otherwise they're fucked up and weird. Like, no. Doesn't need to be a fucking Harvard graduate. Asshole. Alright. I feel like there's something wrong. I guess I just take the color of his foot. You know what? I could probably put the Hoog's arm crossing over his legs in like a semi-fetal position. But for him, for the Hoog, it's more of like, you know, you're sitting on the ground watching an ad. A child concern. Maybe help it instead of getting angry with them. Yeah! Yeah, no, that's entirely correct. Some people think that you can just yell the bad out of a child, you know? Not how it works. They're people. I have a very broadly acceptable view in life, in which I want to help people. You know? Don't care if you are opposing my political beliefs, my religious beliefs, anything, literally anything. If you are a good person, if you have strived to be a good person in your life, I would like to help you. I would like for you to live a good life. A lot of people don't agree. A lot of people are like, well, if I can make money, then fuck that guy. You know? Pissing me off. Because there's not a lot of objectively wrong opinions. That's an objectively wrong opinion. Fuck you. If you think money is worth more than a guy. If you think that getting that extra, like, zero on your paycheck. Turn that 10K or turn that 100K into $1 million, you know? It's disgusting. Hate it. We didn't know. Yeah, they showed no sign. Yeah. I will admit, having been in states of depression, something that you do. No, maybe this is a me thing. How we need to stop dehumanizing people. Yeah. Yeah. We need to treat people like humans. I could go on the same rant. Trust me. What was I saying? Saying something. I forget. Why am I drawing this like that? Gonna be big fluffy thing there. Something about oh yeah. So oftentimes I like when I was in particular. Oh come on! I drew that all in the wrong layer. Damn it. But whenever I would be like in depressive situations in the past, I'm a very self-aware person. I don't know if that comes across. I'll literally just be sitting there being like, oh man, I feel like complete shit. I should reach out for something. But that'd bother them, and maybe I'm making it up, you know? Maybe I'm just lying to myself about my issues. I don't have to be depressed, and then, you know. And now that I say it, I'm pretty sure that is not a me thing. Just like feeling like you have feeling like you have imposter syndrome for depression, and that you don't merit the help that people would otherwise offer. Like, yeah, no. And so I understand that, not that. Well, I understand that, but I understand people not seeing the signs. Because a lot of the time, people, they don't give out signs. Or when they do give out signs, it's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I showed my depression to you. I feel like collectively, as a society, we should move away from that. But that's how it is now. That's how it is right now, and it's fucked. I guess the thing is, we are moving there. Slowly but surely, we are actually getting there in our lives, you know? And they'll be upset because you're upset, and thus be very upset with you and then hate you. Yeah. That's another way of that happening, I guess. I don't know. Help destigmatize depression a bit. Yeah, definitely. COVID... And I think we're just, at least in Canada, we're learning a lot more about it as we grow up. But, yeah, no. The thought process of, oh man, I'm causing issues by feeling things. I shouldn't bother anybody else about this. Like, that is something that we need to work out of our society. We need to figure out why that happens, and we need to get rid of it. And you know what else? And this is an opinion that people may disagree with very hard. I think people need to learn to criticize each other. When I'm doing something stupid, I don't want somebody standing next to me being like, ooh. I want somebody to be like, dude, you're doing it wrong. Oh, what? How am I doing it wrong? Yeah, you're supposed to do it like that. Otherwise, it spills shit everywhere. And I'm like, oh, okay, it makes sense. Like, it doesn't help when it's just like, oh yeah, I'm doing this wrong. Hey, dude, you're doing something wrong. How dare you? I'm doing it perfectly fine. Fuck off, man. Criticisms are essential for our lives in society, you know? in a productive, non-insulting way. In an insulting way. No, I fully mean in an insulting way. People need to be able to, like, take something that is directed at them and break apart the insult and the criticism and the actual criticism. Because so many people, or rather, people have so many different definitions of what's an insult. So in your mind, you can be like, that's not constructive criticism because I feel insulted because of it. Thus, I will not pay attention to it. That's wrong. That's not how you grow as a human being. If it's just an insult and there's no criticism to be found out of it, then you throw it away. But if it's an insult paired with actual criticism, and you can think about it, and you can be like, okay, yeah, fucking asshole, but also what they said has bearing in reality, then look at the bearing in reality and tell the other aspect of it to fuck off, you know? We don't need to, like, dumb everything down for everybody. We need people to just feel okay being slighted, you know? Like how I was talking about before, you know? Somebody can do bad by you. Somebody can insult you. Somebody can do like a minor infraction against you. And if you can't handle that, and if your brain immediately goes into panic mode the second that you feel like anything other than dopamine, like, you're not gonna grow as a person. You're gonna be stuck as you and then get really angry or really panicky whenever anybody criticizes you. So, I mean, like, yeah. Even, it really is just the specific, I don't know, bit of nuance. I don't think you're taking in 10,000 nuances. Well, feel free to talk about the nuances, because, I mean, it is an important aspect of the discussion. And I'm not gonna move the goalpost of the conversation just so that I win, you know? But, I mean, there are definitely nuances. What specifically are you referring to? I'm kind of hungry. My stumbly is grumbling a bit. I could use some, What do you typically do when you're hungry? Oh yeah, that's right. Grab booze. Eat, boy! The most powerful way you've said anything. Put the drugs away. Don't worry. I hate limoncello, so I'm not going to be drinking a lot of it. I can't. It's stuck closed. This shit's been in a cabinet for years. Oh boy. Maybe I don't drink this. I hate this. I won't do this. Tortures myself. Yeah, pretty much. You know, like, I opened it up. Look away if you don't like gross things. But I open that shit up and there's, like, gray goop at the top, which I think may or may not be mold, because this is limoncello. So I'm just gonna cap that right up. I'm gonna check the Kraken now, just to be sure. Alcohol typically doesn't have an expiration date, eh? Typically. You can see we have so much alcohol in the house that we have to label, so you can just see my name scrawled across it. It does not look like this has an expiration date. That actually smells good. You have another juicy tale for me. Shoot. Provide me that juicy tale. Sounds like an innuendo. All right, back to drawing. Or back to quick ad break. Because it has been past an hour. If you don't mind, I will come back to that in a few minutes. Then. Bye. All right, I am back. You told your last therapist you could use some liquor and he just found some old whiskey? Yeah. Also, hi, Cloud. Come on, buddy. Get over here. He's confused. I mean, sometimes, like, that does make sense, though, you know? When you're a therapist, you're not trying to just like, oh yeah, no, don't do all the bad things. Here's how you fix your brain so you don't do any of the bad things. Like, no, they're trying to make you feel good. They're trying to make you feel okay with yourself. So a little bit of booze goes a long way. Come on, buddy. Get mad. He's so stupid. Also, when I turn away and look back, my light. Interesting. By the way, so I went and grabbed food. So you don't have to worry. I'm not going to be drinking this on an empty stomach. I got some lettuce. All right. Now, where were we? Why is Cloud looking at you like that? Treats. He just wants treats. He's actually just staring at me. Oh, look, he's looking at the treats now. I'm gonna grab him. This is cat time now. We're doing cat time. A little. There, I could probably. Oh wait, no, I can. Where? Cat time. Actually awesome. But Cloud is great. I don't care that he's super horny all the time. He's great. And without the context of the last stream, you will not know what that means. And you're content with how he did consistently stare at me, but blink slowly as a sign of trust. And then the what? Right after. Actually just sitting and staring at me. I don't know. Were you there yesterday? I think I talked about it yesterday. How like the. Oh, what was that? What was that? Did you? There, something just like went past the camera. The big hair? I didn't even see it. I only saw it on the camera. Bar. All right, enough being distracted. I don't actually know what he wants. Well, I know what he wants. He's not getting them. All right. Just a nice calm down. Honestly, that Kraken is so good as a rum. Like, I don't know where it's from. Black spiced rum. This is the bottle also. Thick as hell. Got a big ass lid. What did you tell the others about Cloud yesterday? So, Here's actually, so more distractions happening. Do you know about like the cat's habits to like, you know, make bread or whatever? Kneading. I think it's called kneading. You know, kneading, right? You are aware of it? Yeah, okay. So most of the time when a cat does that, they are applying a scent. So they'll do that when they're near people who they like or on bedding that they like, so they can apply a scent to them. However, sometimes, and you can tell because it is not just their front legs that are moving, it also means they are jacking off when they do that. He's exactly right. So yeah, I learned this because Cloud really likes kneading a lot. Pretty much every day for who knows how long, come into my room, jump on my bed, I'd pet him for a little while, and then he'd go and he'd knead at the base of my bed, and I wouldn't care about it. Except then I noticed that he was kind of vibrating while doing it. And I put 2 and 2 together in my head of what it was. And then I looked it up just to be doubly sure. And I am correct. Or I was correct. Turns out, Cloud is insanely horny, and pretty much every opportunity he gets the chance to get on the bed while I am there, maybe potentially while I'm not there. I don't know what he's doing when I'm not there, as one may suspect. Every single time. Every single time. Like an impressive amount. And by all means it's natural and stuff, you know. I'm not gonna be like, you're not gonna go to heaven if you jack off, Mr. Cat. But yeah, no. He does it too much. Alright, I'm gonna put this. What? Cat hell. Yeah, cat hell. Exactly. Welcome to the rum taste test stream, where I compare 2 different kinds of rum together to see which one I like more. That's so weird. So usually I really like this stuff, Jamaican rum. I took a sip of that and I like actually coughed for a second, which is not something that happens usually. And this shit, it's so nice. What the hell? How'd they do that? How'd they make that happen? You got a male budgie, and he also does that. Dull as hell and still does it. I know something I recently learned about birds is you're not supposed to touch their backs at all. Like any birds, you're not supposed to touch their backs. Which is very like news to me. As a kid, I always wanted a bird, but now that I know that, I don't, because I know I would accidentally touch their back or something and cause them immense hormonal distress. All right. Their head is the only okay spot. Yeah. It's so weird. And besides that, I'd probably say like crows and maybe not parrot. Parrots are close. Are like, if humans weren't the ones to become sentient, I feel like the crows would come next, you know? And then if you touch them in the wrong spot, then they'll fucking self-destruct hormonally. Like, it's so weird. Because, like, they're insanely intelligent for an animal. Like, way more intelligent. Like people go on and on about, oh yeah, my animal is really cool. People do that too sometimes. True, but it's harder. It's a little bit harder to do that. But people are like, oh yeah, no, look at it, poodle. They're real smart. Oh, dolphins can communicate. It's so intelligent. And then they completely gloss over the fact that crows can do math. Like, seriously, if human beings weren't the like ones to gain sentience, to gain the ability to awareness of their surroundings and stuff, it would definitely be crows. This is a spontaneous rant, or a spontaneous, not necessarily a rant, but I've been thinking this for fucking years. It's just like, there's no way crows wouldn't have evolved into some kind of super sentient being. Apollo, yeah, I know about Apollo. Able to not only say words, but contextualize them. The thing about Apollo, he's able to tell what color an item is, what it's made of, and what it's called. Yeah. I've definitely seen that. He really loves his Shrocks. What I would say about Apollo and, like, parrots is they're really good at, like, guessing, or they're kind of like ChatGPT. If you trained ChatGPT, or if you trained a parrot on all of the information that ChatGPT has, the parrot could probably do a pretty good job. You know, they're not computers, but like it would probably be able to do, you know, good. With a crow, they just know that. They know how to logic shit. They can go, okay, this thing, if I want to get to the bottom of the water, or if I want the water to rise, I can put a thing in the water. And if I want a person to do this, I could go to the person and get their attention, bring them to the thing, and show them exactly what I want them to interact with. And I guess dogs do that too, but that's a learned thing. Crows will just do that. I want a crow. Crows are cool. Spontaneous changed. Oh, use gravity to break open a walnut. Yeah! They're fucking smart, dude. Dude! Hold on. I got a DM from Biz. Whenever you start the stream, draw a little guy drinking a comically large cup labeled soup. So I'll make sure to add that afterwards. You like corvids? Corvids are cool. Birds? Cool. Pretend you don't have a raven in your username. Yeah, no, totally. Okay. This makes the Hoog look so neurodivergent, and I think that is exactly what it should. Like the oversized sweater. I'm still so pissed about the fact that all of my sweaters like are too small for me and they go down to here. I never get to have an oversized sweater. But he gets an oversized sweater. He gets to just curl up in the oversized sweater. I like that concept. And I think the autism, yeah. I ain't autistic, so I can't say anything about it. Well, I can say stuff about it, but I can't make claims based off of not history, but experience. However, it's a bit yippee. Using yippee as I guess no, I was gonna say using yippee as a reference to autism is a bad thing, but then again, didn't like the community completely adopt the yippee creature? I'm not too well versed with this, but you know, or unless you don't. You've had experts say you show signs for dead coin different type of autism. Ah, okay, yeah. High functioning, I think, is what people call it now. Yeah. You're pretty sure Yippee got adopted? Yeah. It's interesting how that works. Like when you have a community of people who are really any community who can be targeted, so any community, it's very interesting to see the internal conflict between reclaiming or separating from a offensive name. Because I have some friends who would be like, who would just say it, Asperger's, you know? And some friends who would be very offended by that. It's very interesting. And of course, it lends itself to the fact that no community is a hive mind. We don't got any gestalt consciousnesses in chat. We ain't got any gestalt consciousnesses in chat today. Yeah. I said that. I butchered that word. Gestalt. But you know, it's just interesting. It's interesting. Because of course, no one person could make the decision to say that something is bad, right? Well, a lot of people presume that they can do that, but no one person can really change that for an entire community. But seeing that separation, and it's not just like autistic people. Like there are a lot of communities that both reclaim and depose. Depose may be a little weird a word to use for it, but we ball. Word usage. It's interesting. Is controversial since the term was coined by a Nazi to differentiate between a good autistic person and a bad autistic person. Gotcha. That, I didn't know it had its roots in eugenics. That is news to me. Asperger's is a very German name. Although I can't say, like, you can't judge based off of the name because there's a lot of German scientists who didn't participate with the Nazis. Einstein, for example, you know? But yeah, it's the name of a, yeah. That tracks. I won't fact check you right now, but I will probably look into it a little bit later just to get the digs. Maybe I don't. I am very self-conscious about the words that I use, hence why I'm constantly walking back what I say. And I'm using, I use known phrases and stuff like that. But sometimes I just try using words that I don't really know. And I don't know if that's like an innately bad or okay thing, you know? As long as they're not slurs, I think it's fine, but using words out of the correct context or out of the correct meaning is... It feels weird to do. To me, at least. This music is good. This music is comfy. I really like this track. And I know that a lot of people hear it because it's popular, but it's comfy. It's nice. I want to make music. I say that about a lot of music types, though, so, you know. Drawing a very interesting way that this folds. Could probably do. You've had a habit of finding out things being bad that way. Yeah. Oh my goodness. No, I was literally 9. This can't come back to haunt me in any way because I was a child. When I was a child, I thought I came up with the N-word. I legitimately thought that. Because I was rhyming things with my favorite toy, my toy excavator, also known as a digger. And I was just saying random rhymes, and I got to one letter, and suddenly my parents were like, don't! And I was like, did I make something bad? What did I do? Oh my God. It like, legitimately. I've done that more than once, where I accidentally, like, thinking that I'm making a funny word, saying dick in a weird way. Turns out, slur against lesbians. Who would have thought? It's just so weird. I wish I could use more random, like, garbage words. Shit happens. Yeah. It's so weird. It's happened too many times. Like, legitimately, I honestly, slurs as a concept may be an out there opinion. Not good. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of slurs, but yeah, no. It's so annoying. I want to say garbage. I want to say stupid shit. I wanna butcher a word so bad that nobody can understand what it means. Not accidentally say something that will get me fucking put on trial for hate speech, you know? I think we might have heard all the music in this playlist. Racism kind of low-key made it. Yeah, I don't know. There's just something about it that it just doesn't seem like the best way to go about things. Yeah, something about the idea of a passive anti-bigot is just like, you know, like it may be your opinion. Like we may have different opinions, but I personally think that racism's bad. Like, that can only exist as a joke. If you legitimately think that, like, act that way, where you're like, yeah, it's acceptable, but I don't like it. Bro. You know? Now that I've had a few, I think I've had a few, you just make sure, you know? All right. So you may notice now that I've got a few drinks in me, I am hot swapping topics. I'm saying shit straight off the top of my head. And the sad thing about being a big dude with a fast metabolism is I don't even feel it yet. Like, obviously I'm affected by it, but my brain isn't like, oh, you're having fun, you're drunk. I'm literally just kind of wobbly right now. I've been I've been just redrawing the same thing over and over. Holy shit, I'm a dunce. All right. I'm trying to get the effect of having like some slack. Okay. Maybe I'm gonna go don another sweater. Taking depressants along with antidepressants is bad. Ow, that is not a good idea. Oh yeah, you get to see all my ender muscles. So strong. I've been at the gym twice this month. Actually, size as 0 times for the past couple. I only do it because my brother, like, and I will say, doesn't do wonders for self-image, for your self-image, but when you're built like me, it's surprising how many people will walk up to you and be like, damn, if you hit the gym, you could be really buff. You know? So for the past who knows how long, I've had a brother who or several brothers really, but one in particular who's a bit of a gym rat, who have been like really trying to get me to get into the gym grind and get really buff. And only recently I've started doing it. And I'm stronger than I thought, and also it's painful. It hurts. It hurts. You go and you push your leg a few times, and then the next day you can't walk on that leg anymore. It hurts. You just get body shamed and called ugly. In your head, people call you ugly. Yeah, no, me too. Yeah, no. The thing about being at a gym or going to a gym consistently is it gives you that peace of mind that it says, like, it tells you, for some people at least, it tells you that you're getting better, you know? So you suddenly, you're pushing 200 pounds, you know? And in the brain, that's like, if I'm pushing 200 pounds, then I am doing well. So I understand that. I just don't get the same dopamine from pushing 250 pounds or something, you know? I can lift enough naturally. Why do I need to go lug around some weights? It's ADHD coded. Maybe it is. Is very possible that it is. Okay, maybe. Okay, that works. I don't know why, but after seeing this kind of zoomed out, the first thing my brain said was gender. Vaguely gender, but not quite. I don't know, being cozy, is that gender? With ADHD, you don't get happy hormones normally at all. Yeah. People work on passion projects and get happy, and meanwhile you're over here like that. Yeah. No, I understand that. I will say, as somebody who also has ADHD and suffers from immense apathy, you probably still can do it. You just have to find the things that you can really hyper-focus about. I feel like you probably already have, actually, considering that Rain World. Being cozy is gender. He is very cozy looking. I could I mean, this sweater is nice because, like, when I have my arm outstretched, I can actually have it up to my fingers. But I want a properly oversized sweater. I want video games are dopamine for you. Well, there you go. And you know what? Fuck anybody who tells you that, like, if you play video games, then you are wasting your time. You're allowed, you are fully allowed to enjoy things and then be productive at another time. Anybody who is like, oh yeah, no, if you play this video game, then you're not doing productive thing, and you're never gonna get in the big society and shit. You know, that's how everybody talks, by the way. Every single person talks like that. No, fuck that. Stupid. You can enjoy yourself. You're allowed to enjoy yourself. Crazy as that may seem. I can definitely tell I'm starting to feel the alcohol now because I am losing track of my train of thought faster than normal. Normally, my train of thought goes away rather quickly, but I can at least follow it through to some kind of conclusion. But at this point, I will be halfway through saying a sentence, and my brain will go, no more. I'm too tired for this. Okay. Okay, that looks better. So what I will do now, I will do the Ender Deej outline thing. My iconic outline thing. Where nope, not green. I go over all of the outline with a slightly thicker sized pen so that it adds that extra little pop. Automod and you are fist fighting. Here, let me help you. There you are. Video games are a bad hobby and like combination of girls won't like you if you... Oh. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's incorrect. Like, again, I don't think I've said this actually. I kind of wish that people would confront me with that kind of shit. People don't tend to confront me about anything. Also, my nose is clogging. When I get inebriated, my nose goes immediately. I hate it. But what I was saying... What was I saying? Oh, yeah. I kind of wish that people would confront me about stuff like that and be like, oh, yeah, no, my opinion states this, so that I could actually respond to it. Because nobody tells me that, like, I shouldn't be playing video games. I know there's a lot of people who think I shouldn't be playing video games because they, like, hint at it and stuff, but nobody's gonna be like, oh, yeah, no, if you play video games, then this bad thing will happen to you. Give me that. Let me yell at a guy. I wouldn't actually yell. That's not nice. But I wanna be able to talk to somebody who believes something that I disagree with, so that I could understand or dunk on them. You're pretty non-confrontational. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's the thing. I'm confrontational as all hell. I love confronting people. Confrontation is great. However, people don't like confronting me. I wonder why, you know? Maybe because I literally a few seconds ago said I love confrontation. Look at that. The outline, I don't know, there's something about it. It's just having all of, like, a thick outline over everything brings together the image. Don't threaten me with a good time. Yeah. I love... If I was a delinquent, trust me, I'd be in jail. Like, if I didn't have the morals that I did right now, I would probably get into fights constantly, you know? My saving grace is the fact that I strive to be good to other people. Because if I legitimately was just like if I was me and I was thinking, and I didn't have like my usual roots of getting rid of my anger, and I had less of a moral compass than I do right now, I would probably be fighting random people. Like, I would probably get into fights on the street, legitimately. And I can honestly, you know what? I've said honestly so many times. I owe so much. And this is where I get into the drunk alcoholic, like, sappiness. Like, you're my best friend. But legitimately, I owe so much of that to Biz. Biz hasn't even been on stream for the past while, but man, is that guy awesome. Absolutely set me on the right track. You aren't even home right now, and you fell asleep last stream? Well, the you not being home thing is not is not your fault, I must say. And I mean, wait, no, you live in the US. You shouldn't fall asleep ever. Just like at all. Don't sleep anymore, okay? You're not allowed. You need new shoes? Well, you'd probably have new shoes if you didn't sleep. For context, booze. If you abandoned all your morals, there would be a documentary about you as a serial killer that disrespects all your victims for some reason. Yeah, I don't think I could ever go down the serial killer route. Honestly, I just don't, like... I'm not... Oh, you're keeping your streak alive. That makes sense. Like, even if I had no morals, you know, I don't take joy in hurting people. I take joy in defeating people. But, you know, I'd have to dump a significant amount of my morals to get to the point of serial killing. I guess, yeah, no. All your morals kind of implies that. You're gonna go? All right. Well, see you around. I will be putting V1 onto the shelf. I'm probably... Or... I think I might end soon. Because, yeah. But maybe. You know, maybe. Yeah, I know. I reread your message. Hence why, like, I reread your message and noticed that you said all your morals. What was I doing? Cult of Lamb guy? Oh yeah, you wanted V1. I'm gonna put the lamb as well, because the lamb's also kind of cool. The structure of my stream is slowly but surely melting away. Eventually it will all be chaos. Anyway, let's get Lambert in here. I gotta play that new Cult of the Lamb DLC. I really want to play it. Alright, so how's this looking? I'm low-key getting sluggish. That makes sense. You know, I honestly, you watched me take... I wasn't keeping track. I think 4 or 5 swigs off of bottles of 40 proof, or not 40 proof, 40% rum. I think proof is a different metric. So yeah. You're like, yeah, he does that. Okay, whatever. Put that drink away. No! I refuse. I wanna chill tonight. And by the way, not a dig. A little bit of a dig. I'm a big person. I'm a very large, huge, large man. If you need a reminder, me, no. I can take a lot more booze than you might. Probably the first time I've actually, like, straight up insulted you. Whether or not you take your ability to down booze as an insult, like if that's a point of passion, I don't know. But to some people, if I said that, they'd get very upset. All right. Well, what do I want to do now? You know what? I do have one more thing to do. So let's do that. Little guy drinking a comically large soda cup labeled soup. Thought I was gonna say I'm ready to start throwing hands with I'm always ready to throw hands with somebody. That's not true. Please don't break into my home and start throwing hands with me. It's not good. Okay, so we need Hoog shading. Luth. Maybe. I don't know. A few drinks in. No, actually, that probably gives me an advantage. If I'm being honest, I do better typically when I am drunk. I am saying that as like a general statement, even though in actuality, the only thing that applies to is playing pool. But yeah, no, that works at everything. Yeah. You're a pacifist at heart. Yeah, it's a good thing to be. No shame in not wanting to hurt people, you know? 31. Alright, so we're just gonna... maybe a larger one to start. I gotta focus on the shading. I can't multitask as easily. Honestly, like, I know that you are a good artist, so I trust that you know this. But something that legitimately changed my art for, like, forever, really, was figuring out what shading did. Because when I was younger and I was in, like, high school, you know, doing art classes and whatnot, I would never shade because I would never even color stuff in. You know, I'd be like, oh yeah, but if I color it in, it gets boring and flat. Don't want to see your old Warrior Cats art. Oh yeah, flat shit. Oh, probably pull out my old like art projects and stuff. But it always looked so flat when I had color on the page. And so I would never actually color in the images that I'd made because I was like, yeah, but that ruins it. It was only once I actually started shading stuff that I realized, oh, coloring's not the last step. There's a step after that to make it look good. And yeah, ever since then, I have been significantly more content with my art. Because when I was younger, I always thought I was dog shit at it. And admittedly, when I was younger, I was dog shit at it. But, yeah, no, just knowing to shade and knowing how to shade, it's so useful. Legitimately. This music is... I'm gonna say that about every song. Every single one. Let me see. So that's the shading done. Easy shit. Now I need to create a little guy. Changes so much of an art's vibe. Absolutely. I'm split between wanting to do like 3 different things because currently I have on my mind going and grabbing my old art projects, and then also I need to go draw that other dude. Then also I kind of need to use the washroom, and so if I did, then I'd probably end the stream. Use specific colors and tints. Yeah, that's something I need to use more or try more. Shading with color. Because most of the shading that I do, I just lower the opacity and I use black. But shading with like a different color, something to make it stylized, I definitely got to try that. All right. Well, for now, I'll save the peek at my old school projects for later, but right now I will do this request. You need to show me a recent art piece you did with Hero where you drew him in place of a woman for an art piece from Youth Style Art Movement. Not exactly sure what that is, but feel free to send it into the non-fan art. I will take a look. Okay, so I need a little guy drinking a comically large soda cup. Save. And I will here. Little guy. Lay out the line art. So, you know what? Since it's only described as a little guy, I'm gonna shape him how I please. And how I please is abnormal and weird. Let's give him a crooked top hat. All right, let's take a look. Oh! Well done. Here, I'll pull it up on stream, even though I don't know if anybody else is here. Jugend. Here. Yeah, so this is the art piece that Hero sent. Yeah, no, that, like, so definitely, like, the dithering. I don't know if that's an effect or, well, obviously you didn't purposefully do that. It's not even dithering. It's kind of just like artifacting almost. And then you got like the very light blush kind of around here. Yeah, very well done, honestly. I need to get more into I tend to do cartoony art when I'm drawing, but I would kind of like to get into the more serious side of art, you know? Because there's a lot that I don't do, and I feel like I could do more with my art skills and what, you know? Okay, so guy got big old lips for sipping juice. All right, and then stick with whatever you're doing. Don't got to be the next Da Vinci. Oh, it's not like a currently what I am doing is bad or not good enough and I need to do better. More of a I want to open up my creative wheelhouse, you know? I want to try more things, see what I can do. It said little guy, so I'm going to go really for that little guy vibe. So short, all shoulders. Like that. And he's just gonna have his arm out to the side like so. And his hands are gonna be like me characters. Guy. Activities here. And this. I'll move him back down so that he's actually sitting. Again, it's a very interesting thing, and I've spoken about this before, probably on Arch. How you can look at somebody who has an art style that's completely different from your own and be like, their art is better. And it's like, it's not like, it can be, you know, their art could be better than yours, you know, by an objective scale of whatever, who cares? But it's just interesting to me that I will draw like this, and I'll be happy drawing like this. You know, Pepe, Pepe. That's the first time I've gotten like a regular ass meme request on the shelf. let's get Pepe in here. No, I don't want the soccer player or footballer, he is called. Really doesn't matter. Yeah, no, it doesn't. Do whatever you want, and you'll see somebody whose style is super realistic, and you'll be like, my style needs to be realistic to be good like theirs. And then you'll see somebody who has a really cute cartoonish style, and you'll be like, I need to make my style like that one. Like, you just gotta get out of that mindset, you know? You gotta get out of the mindset that you need to be like the people you look up to, you know? Like, I don't have to be Da Vinci. It would be kind of cool if I was Da Vinci, but I don't have to be Da Vinci. I don't have to be like Edvard Munch. I don't have to be any of those well-known artists, writers, who knows what, you know? Where'd Pepe go? There we are. Let's just let Pepe peek out from behind Dante. Let's oh, he has to go under the shelf. There we are. So he's just kind of peeking out. That's nice. That works. I like that. Used to inspire someone who now draws realistically and objectively draws better than you. Yeah. That makes you happy. You inspired somebody like that. Yeah. Honestly, hearing that you inspired somebody for any reason, it's such a good feeling, right? And I know some people would take that and be like, oh, they're doing better than me now. Oh, how dare they? I need to do better because the person who I inspired is doing better than me now. But no, that's the wrong mindset to have. You know? You just, you gotta love the fact that you were able to help somebody. And if you don't, then I guess you're gonna be a little less happy. You know? Thriving and you're enjoying their work. Exactly. One thing I like, so I've spoken a few times about the album that I'm working on, and I showed the first song that I made to pretty much everybody in my family, because I wanted to know whether or not it was good. And I was told by my mom that it inspired her to try out singing herself, because she had also wanted to try singing, and just like never really had, like, she never really was thinking like, oh yeah, or rather, she had the thought process that I had, which was, yeah, but I'm not too good, and getting into it would be kind of hard, and coming up with excuses, you know? But just being the person to give that little push, to give that inspiration to somebody, it feels good. It's nice, you know? All right. Finish the soup can. I don't think Biz meant for this to be like a serious thing, but this suggestion is going to be on the shelf. Like, it is going to be here for a long time. And that is just, like, if anybody dislikes it, if anybody disagrees, then they will have to answer to Biz. Not me, I don't do anything, but Biz, yes. Yeah. Nice being able to change people in positive ways. Ways that don't even have to benefit you. Yeah. Being able to help people in a sense that doesn't explicitly benefit you as an end result. Like, crazy, right? Oh boy, I helped this person, but I'm not gaining monetary value from it? Oh, like, oh my God, the modern mindset, and it's a mindset bred from like survival instinct. You have to be a cutthroat cutthroat piece of shit if you want to thrive in the world that we live in, you know? It is just kind of how it is. But I think genuine compassion and genuine care for people is one of the most human things that you could do. I don't care if you play video games in your free time. I don't care if you have a mental disorder. I don't care if you are doing something that is typically considered taboo. You're allowed to do it as long as you're not hurting anybody. And if you can seek to help people, even with whatever problems you may have, then I see you as a good person. That's my philosophy. I'm spoiled for not wanting to work myself to death with 2 jobs, 4 hours. Yeah. No. Legitimately. People saying that you like, this is normal. It's normal for life to be this shit. Like, everybody else's life is this shit, so it must be fine. This is the status quo. Uphold it. Keep it going. Because I'd be more afraid of change than actually living a better life. I'd be more afraid of change than allowing those who are more fortunate than myself to take advantage of me. Like, it's awful, man. The mindset. Bad mindset. Bad mindset. Yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those things. One of those many things that annoys me to no end. Okay, so this is supposed to say soup. Done. Here, let me make it look nicer and say soup. You know, a while ago I was like, when I beat Hollow Knight, or when I beat Silksong, I should go replay Hollow Knight just to see how easy it was in comparison. I haven't played Silksong for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks maybe. I haven't touched Silksong for a while. I don't know if I'm gonna get to that point. Of course, I love the game, except for when it's beating my ass. But I enjoy the game for the majority of the time that I'm playing it. Mood, yeah. It's just, it's so mean sometimes, you know. The quest, like other in regular Hollow Knight, in order to upgrade your nail, you'd just like go kill a boss and you'd get it as a reward. In Silksong, it's a whole line of quests and boss fights and who knows what. You can't even structure sentences anymore. That's all right. Feel free to call it, because I am probably going to call it myself soon anyways. Just gotta finish this little guy in his soup cup. Maybe if I do it like this. Soup. That doesn't look like it says soup at all. Food. Food. Okay. Can I get this work? God. Okay. That works. And now it's just a matter of coloring him in. Soup. Yippee! Soup! And I'm gonna color the cup like a can of Campbell's soup. Color the cup like a can of Campbell's soup. Can of Campbell's poop. That was some pretty good accidental alliteration, which in and of itself is accidental in alliteration. Tongue twister. Yeah. A cup of Campbell's soup. How could I extend that? I came up with the alliteration of big, bald, blonde boy with beard as describing myself. I want to come up with more of those. Campbell Coop, Kim Kardashian, Cuck. I've run out of words to use past cuck. Are there any C words past cuck? Cuck is such a funny word. It literally just means that somebody's fucking the person who you are dating or in love with or in a relationship with. Which is not an exactly, like, funny thing. But to me, I don't know why, it's just funny. Just gonna do this. It's none of your business. I mean, what do you mean? What do you mean it's none of your business? You state that like the word makes you uncomfortable. Let's unpack this. No. Like get right into the offensive, eh? But nah. Color. Put that in there. Make it look like a barbershop in here. What people do is none of your business, you mean? Ah. Okay, yeah, in that sense, yeah. Although, I think typically the word cuck is used in a sense of like a person does that to another person, not in the you are a sense. But, yeah, you do you. You like watching your loved one get fucked? So be it. I'm not gonna kink shame. Who cares? Alright, so there's the soup. Now let's get this little guy settled. He can be green. He looks like a green fellow. He looks like he deserves a little bit of green in his life. There's something so funny to me about this. Listen to the background. That's a turning signal, I'm pretty sure. You can hear in the very back of the song the sound of like that. I've come to make an announcement. Why is that spontaneously coming to your mind? I use the word spontaneously too much. But why is that? Why when did that show up, eh? Yeah, you always have to have that in the back of the brain, eh? Because he cucked Eggman? True! You're actually correct. You're right there, actually. Alright, so we got a little guy. Rouge did as well. I'm not too up to date with the, what's that? Was that Snapcube or was that, not Linux. Other guy. Snapcube? Ah. I don't watch Snapcube that much. At all, actually. Okay, now let's just get a little bit of quick shading done before we call it. Right? This song, I will say a little quick piece on it. At first, like, this song sounds so weird when you first listen to it because it's trap, but then it has flutter tongue technique on a flute and also a harmonica and stuff. Like, it's so weird. It's not normal for a trap song. And like at first I was like, oh yeah, no, this is all right. This is kind of cool and interesting. But listening to it back like multiple times, it's one of those things where it's like a game taste. It's an acquired taste rather. It just hearing it, something about like it doesn't necessarily sound good, you know? Like I like it, but it isn't necessarily like a super harmonically developed song. But the creativity that goes into it, there's something about it. The gall to make a song that uses flutter tongue flute with fucking trap beat. I love it. I don't know. And to make it sound good, you know? He pissed on my fucking wife. Yeah, look over. See that. Yeah, that's not how that works. All right. Finally, just a little bit of a like this. Like that. That works. All right. Now that we've done this, little guy has been completed. His overall thing is a little bit bigger than I intended, so I might have to shrink him down. But this, I think, marks the end of today's stream. Yeah, so do this. Boop. Okay, that works out. And you know what? He can sit down next to this letter here. The quick love letter. I wonder, you know what? If he overlaps it, then it looks like there's more 3D stuff happening. There. And there he is. So, I mean, now that I think about it, this is pretty much a completed BRB screen, right? Like I could probably set this up for the stream right now, given I had any of the energy to do that. I won't, because again, I'm tired. But yeah, no, I pretty much finished. So, yeah, I like thank you for watching, and VOD viewers, thank you, of course. I will be streaming, hopefully, some more Hollow Knight next Saturday, and then probably on Sunday, Darkwood again. I'm still looking to do more Don't Starve play, like multiplayer Don't Starve on Discord, so like Discord exclusive stuff. But besides that, that's going to be the end of the stream. So yeah, I will see you. Bye-bye.